Hey, it's Camo for Nashville Access, Facebook Live, the Pie Wagon Sessions, and it's kind of befitting that my Rangers, Texas Rangers, lost 20-10 last night. That I'm sitting here with a guy who went to college on a baseball scholarship. Curtis Grimes, how you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Are you a Rangers fan?
I am. I grew up in the Nolan Ryan era, and like baseball was my life. Yeah. So I wanted to be pitch for the Rangers when I grew up. Like that was my.
Yeah, they could use you right now.
I wish I would love to. Everybody always asks me if I miss baseball, and I say every single day.
Yeah.
And of course, now I got friends that have eventually gone on and are in the majors. So now, once you see those guys pitching on TV, you just by default think that, okay, well, I was on the team with those guys. You feel like you're in the same ballpark as them. So,
but it's funny because all the athletes want to be music stars.
That's what they
and all
say.
The music stars want to be.
That's what they say. But those baseball players make a little more money. I think. And generally speaking.
Yeah, and the touring is less, I think. Yeah. What really caught my eye with you was your single "Bottom of the Fifth."
Yes, sir.
That was a great song. It's such a cool play because it was kind of bringing your baseball thing into it.
It was. That one started. A friend of mine said, "Hey, I want you to write a song called "Bottom of the Fifth." I don't have any direction. I don't have any idea. It just sounds cool." And of course, he knew baseball was my thing, and so I was looking up because whenever I feel like when I hear a song title or try to come up with a hook, I'll look and see if it's been used or worn out, or I don't want to write the same song that's already been done and then waste my time. And there were other Bottom of the Fifth songs, but they were all kind of sad, drowning your whiskey at the bar songs. And my idea, I'm thinking about, I'm on the mound when I hear that, and I'm thinking like the bottom of the fifth in a baseball game. And I was like, yeah, it'd be cool if you could tie in other references to that, whether it be at the bottom of the fifth, the whiskey, or the stuff. So I was kicking around that idea, and I had a write one day with a guy named Craig Monday, and I didn't even know it at the time, but he grew up playing ball as well. But he was about 30-40 minutes late to the session, and when he got there, I'd already kind of started the chorus and kind of got an idea of the verse and got an idea of the chorus going. So when he got there, I was like, "Hey man, we can continue on with this or start from scratch." And obviously we ended up doing it and had our early lunch that day.
Nice.
But that song kind of lays out a few things that happened to me along the way. Did have a high school sweetheart. We did break up. We did go to state my junior year, and we did kind of fall apart around I don't know if it was the bottom of the fifth, but somewhere in the middle of the game. And we grew up, in East Texas, we didn't have turf baseball fields. It's a regular grass. And when we went to state in Austin, and this fall, it's turf. And I don't mean like the new and improved turf. It was like the
you go from playing on hard dirt to plastic.
Right. And so my guys didn't know what to do with that stuff. So I mean, there was the inning. I'm talking about, we probably had 9 errors in one inning. And there was one dude did crush one off the wall that would have been out of any high school park, But that was where I got like the inspiration for the storytelling side of it.
That's cool.
And it all came together, and then not only did we cut it on that EP, it wound up being the title track, and it wound up being a #1 single in Texas for us. So you never know which one of these songs make it on to that point.
Yeah, and there could be somebody that's doing exactly the same kind of stuff as you and do the same kind of thing, and it goes nowhere. It's just
absolutely right.
The fickle.
And the cool thing about that was it was so much of a genuine and real song for me, since it was kind of my story.
Yeah.
But I think that translates well. I think people believe it and buy into it more whenever it's that real to you, and I feel like you're probably selling it better too.
Yeah. So, as you mentioned, you're from Texas. You're one of a crowd of people from Texas who kind of moved to Nashville to, you've been coming here a couple times a month for a while, and you moved here to use this as your base and really do make all your connections. Has that been an adjustment?
It has, and at first, you write most of the stuff by yourself, and there's no really concept of this radio friendly or this or that or what. You just kind of it was all about what I've been through, what I've seen, kind of just life experience stuff. And then when I started coming out here with the co-writes, on one aspect it make me a better writer, because you're in the room with people that just beat you down, and if you take it positively, it really makes you better and kind of increases where your game, I guess, so to speak. And so that was one change, and the other one was kind of catering to the radio side of things, which was kind of a foreign concept to me up until then. But there is that fine line of getting better and changing and progressing and changing to be somebody you're not. So that's a line that I had to flirt with, and it took a few things for me to kind of open my eyes and see, like, this is not where I want to be per se. And then it made me step back and just kind of lay it all out on the line and say, this is what I want to do, this is what I'm going to do. If it sells, cool. If radio plays it, cool. If not, then I'll get another job and we'll play shows on the weekends for fun.
Yeah, you were saying that because you had a couple of, not necessarily label deals, but kind of things,
management
deals, and they were pushing you to you know.
It is, and I don't think that they're intentionally trying to sabotage you or change you. I think it's just, at the end of the day, it's all about money when you get to that point, and what's going to make the people that are spending money on you not only return on their investment, but also profit from that. And so they're looking at the big picture of, okay, we need to get national radio play and generate income from that side of it, and also sign you to a publishing deal to where they get half of that money coming in, and then of course that's just going to increase your touring side of things. And so all those factors just kind of subconsciously draw you in a direction, and you have to either go with it, or a lot of times your investment gets cut off.
And it happens even with the big artists too. I mean, Mark Chestnut back in the day was under pressure to release I Don't Want to Miss a Thing, and he didn't want to, and the labels kind of pressured him, and he felt like if he didn't cut that record, he'd be put on the back burner, and he regretted it. It went to #1. He regretted it though, and George Jones actually made a point of saying, "You shouldn't have done that." You know, it's all those things that you have to do to keep your career alive.
That's true.
And we were saying earlier, you know, Pat Green said the labels have this thing where they make you think you're in control. And you take them a bunch of songs and they say, "Oh, those are great, but we'd like you to try these ones."
And they're people you trust too. I mean, you put kind of your career in their hands, and so when they start paying for the albums and paying for the promotion and paying for everything,
they kind of have a right.
They control the strings, and you, like I say, you trust them, and you honestly think that everybody gets it, and you're going to maintain your integrity and still be you. But a lot of times you can't have both, so you got to choose.
How about doing a song for us?
Sure, man. Let's do Bottom of the Fifth, since we were talking about that one. Hanging curve, trying to paint the black. Gave my high school coach a heart attack. 8 outs away from winning state. All I had to do was make no mistakes. In there and win like a Goodyear blimp over the rock field wall into something mid. I was standing there on a mound of dirt, feeling hurt cause I blew it in the bottom of the fifth. Miss the pits when your well runs dry and your time runs out. You can't quit getting lit up quicker than a sky on the 4th of July. When you put it out there and lay it all on the line, we're just losing in the bottom of the fifth. Sherry was my high school flame. I lost her too, and I lost that game, cause she was looking for the next big thing. You hit me hard, getting back that rain.
lay it all on the line. Or just to lose it in the bottom of the fifth. Oh, ain't it when your well runs dry and your time runs out, you can't quit. Get lit up quicker than a scout on the 4th of July when you put it out there and lay it all on the line. Or just to lose it in the bottom of the fifth. Yeah, yeah. You lose it in the bottom of a fifth.
Nice. You've got one of those voices that, I said this earlier, that it just seems like you've been around forever. It's a really familiar voice. And I was saying that, they said, who have you got in Thursday? I said, Curtis Grimes, and he's been around forever. And then I looked and it's like, no, because you did the voice in 2011.
Yes, sir.
That's only 6 years.
Season 1, we were the guinea pigs.
Yeah.
So-
How did it go? Was that?
Man, it was great, and I learned so much about just kind of the industry, reality TV, what goes on behind the scenes, the kind of the smoke and the mirror side of it, and also the media side of it. Because before that, I couldn't even carry on a radio interview that was worth the crap. So when you're there, they kind of give you this media training stuff, and also just kind of throw you into the fire. I mean, after everything you do, they pull out the camera with the big spotlight and the 4 producers behind it, and just drilling you with questions, and you answer them, and then they're like, all right, well, that's cool, let's try it this way. And then they're like, all right, that was cool, we'll say it like this. And then, 15 minutes later, you're like, all right, what do you want me to say? Because this is awkward now. Just tell me what to say, I'll say it, and then we'll go chill out. And so you do that enough to then you go get in a radio room with just you and another DJ, and it's just like talking to a friend. And so I'll develop so much in that aspect. And also, that was the most nervous I've ever been on stage, and even to this day, like nothing compares to that. So you go out there and you kind of just put your heart on the line in front of like a live TV audience. Now going to get on a stage, even in front of a big crowd, is nothing compared to like your adrenaline. I mean, I'm talking about, I walked out there for you do several rounds of cuts before you even get to the part to where they turn the tear in. But I remember I was so nervous, like I was cotton mouth, like I couldn't even really breathe. So if you watch like the beginning of the first song, it's like there's nothing there. And so it took a second just to like actually project noise out of my mouth. And so I learned a whole lot and developed as an artist. And then when you're there, you do work with vocal coaches, not the eye candy coaches. My coach was CeeLo, and you see them for about 15-20 minutes to shoot your scene, and then they go on and do their thing. Blake actually was the only one that I would say went above and beyond the bare minimum to collect the paycheck. I remember he took their team out to like karaoke one night, and I don't even think that made like the TV. I think that was just more of a fun thing. They filmed it, but they didn't use the footage. And then another time he came to the hotel bar and hung out like after shooting one day. So I respect him for that. But you do work with, I'll call real vocal coaches. The guy that was working with us was a background singer for Michael Jackson for a while, and he worked with like, I want to say Justin Timberlake, and there was another guy who worked with like Kelly Rowland, and just they're the ones that really you get in the room with them. You get about 30 minutes, and they break it down how you're going to sing it. Really taught me about the breathing side of singing. Because up until that, I'd never had any kind of instruction on playing the guitar or singing or anything. So I was just kind of what I figured out along the way. And when I came back from that, I was definitely a much better singer. And probably the confidence side of it too. I mean, I think after that, I kind of built my confidence enough to where I kind of had a little bit of probably a little more swagger as an artist and a singer as well. So that was cool. The only thing I complain about would change if I could would be the song selection. Because I remember up until you get to Los Angeles, it was what you got, presses, and I would sing like George Strait or some random song I'd written at the point, or maybe a Clay Walker song or something that like vocally I felt like reflected me as a singer. And once you got there, I remember going in a meeting and they said, all right, you're going to sing Hillbilly Bone. And that was exactly my reaction.
Yeah.
I started laughing.
Yeah.
And then they're like, what, you don't like Blake? I was like, no, that's not it at all. But if I was going to sing a Blake Shelton song, it would not be Hillbilly Bone.
Yeah.
I would sing Austin.
Yeah.
Or something else that I think is a good song.
The
I
Baby.
could like, yeah, The Baby.
Yeah.
Like something that I could
Yeah.
sing and impress someone. And they're like, yeah, that's fine, but you're going to sing Hillbilly Bone. So I wound up singing Hillbilly Bone, and fortunately I made it past the first round. Blake didn't turn around, CeeLo did, but I was on. So then I was going to get some face time, and it justified taking 6 months out of your life to go do this with no guarantee. And so we did that. The next round was the battle round, so they pinned me up with a girl on CeeLo's team, and they made us sing Lady Annabelle, Need You Now. Well, if you listen to any of my stuff and listen to Lady Annabelle stuff, you realize they're two completely different ends of the spectrum,
LA
two
people,
different ranges.
Yeah.
And so this song was definitely catered to her range and not mine. So that was a challenge in itself. So we wound up doing it, wound up winning that one, so I go on again, thinking, all right, maybe I'll get a song I can sing now. Well, then they gave me Addicted to Love. Well, I don't even really know that song. I think I heard it on a commercial or something before. And
It's
so
not much to sing
I
on
did
that one
the
either.
best I could with what I had, and that was it. But still, I made it to, when I got kicked off, there were 12 people left. So I got to stick around for long enough to get some noticeable exposure out of it. And it's funny, the whole process, they give you this list of like 200 songs. You're like, pick your top 5. And this was right after Zach Brown's song, Colder Weather. So I was like, of all these songs, that's my strongest one. And then I can't even remember the other 4. But I know after Addicted to Love, they gave me, finally, one of my songs, Colder Weather. And so the whole week you practice it, you go in and you record it, you do it, and then like I got kicked off before that episode even aired. And you know it too, because my setup for that day was just like stripped down, acoustic, nothing going on. There, another girl on CeeLo's team had like painted like warrior face paints, and it was Adele rolling in the deep and bongo drums and this big production. So you're like, all right, they're not going to spend all this money to go out for this big old production for her, giving me the stripped down acoustic thing. So that's when you're like, they probably have an idea of who's going to go on before they read the results on there. But nonetheless, it was a great experience. And another cool thing was you're in the room or in the hotel basically for a month with these different artists from all over, all different genres. And so inevitably you're gonna have like Kumbaya jam sessions. So it was cool I would play my little country song with the guitar. The next person may play some R&B song on the keys. Then you may have some girl doing some folk song on the ukulele. And then you have somebody else over here doing something. And so that was really cool. And then afterwards, of course, following all those people and seeing what they do with their careers after the show's over. So it was an awesome experience, but I wish I could have picked my song so I could try to impress someone vocally, since it's a vocal competition.
Well, success is the best revenge. What's your new single?
The new single was Right About Now.
That's
coming
a perfect segue into, hey, how about you do your next single?
Right. So right now we just come off of this song, which wound up going to #1 in Texas for us as well. So we're thankful for not only that those radio stations play our music, but play it enough to where it gets to the top of the chart. And this was one I wrote with Trent, who's producing my last 3 records. And kind of, this one's one of those, be careful, don't let your pride get in the way of things, because you have to deal with the consequences of that, and sometimes they're not what you want them to be. So this is called Right About Now.
Trent Willmon, by the way. Trent I thought he was a great artist.
He was, and most people don't realize that he is a phenomenal songwriter too.
Amazing writer.
His accolades as a producer are stacking up as well, with Cody Johnson being as successful and hot as he is right now. But yeah, he's a great songwriter, and he's one that's really upped my game. Just being around him and just kind of bringing me up along the way. So I owe him a lot of credit to my career. So this one's called Right About Now.
you watch her drive away. Now that she's gone, you really kinda miss her, but you don't wanna let her know. And all you'd have to do to bring her back is apologize. But hey, what's a fella got if he ain't got his pride? Right about now she's out on the town without a reason not to be, having her a good time. And right about now one of your pals is buying her a third round of apple pie moonshine. You bit the bullet, you stuck to your guns, and I bet by golly you're proud, 'cause you sure got something to be right about now. Changing like the wind, that's how you think she is. Can't make a point without getting all emotional. Well, ain't it like a man to use his common sense? A primal epitome of practical and logical. You made a solid case, you litigated, you sure told her. Yeah, you did. Well, by the looks of things, Hoss thinks she might have got the final word. 'Cause right about now she's out on the town without a reason not to be, having her a good time. And right about now one of your pals is buying her a fourth round of apple pie moonshine. You bit the bullet, you stuck to your guns, and I bet by golly you're proud, 'cause you sure got something to be right about now. And if you think she's out to do you wrong, well, you just might be correct, 'cause you drew that line and she crossed it. I think you got yourself an ex, 'cause buddy, right about now she's out on the town without a reason not to be, having her a good time. And right about now one of your pals is buying her a fifth round of apple pie moonshine. You bit the bullet when you stuck to your guns, and I bet by golly you're proud, 'cause you sure got something to be right about now. Yeah, you sure got something to be right about now. And I've watched Super Troopers too many times, so I do this. Just getting it right. Right about meow. It's hard not to do that live. Just throwing meows, counting them. We're counting them in the band. Meow, meow. Right. Sometimes at the end I'll throw in the meow.
Thanks for coming in, man. That's
problem.
excellent.
Thanks for having me, man.
Come back again.
Will do.
Sweet. Curtis Grimes, make sure you go and buy his music. You can go and stream it if you just want to discover it, but then go and buy it so he can continue to eat.
Put gas in the RV. That's right.
Thanks for coming by.
No problem, man. Thanks for having
Good
me.
luck.
Great to meet you as well.